So I'm making a bit of a different video, today. This is a game called Paladins. It's a game released this year, 2016. And they just recently had a patch 30. And they have completely changed the game. So I'm making a little bit of a rant on this because it is absolutely ridiculous. And in the background, I don't have footage of every single thing I'm talking about, but those who play this game will probably get most of the stuff I'm talking about. But the gameplay here is me playing as Eevee, and I'm making a few points here. So, yeah, I'm just going to actually replay this footage just to explain exactly what I'm proving here. So in this part of the video, I am presenting something, the Ice Block ability, which Eevee has. Originally, the Ice Block ability would freeze people. This would be very useful. But as you clearly just saw there, it no longer freezes people, it just slows them. And in the update, basically what they did is they've lowered her health, increased her damage, but they've also gotten rid of her freezing ability. And the problem with this is, as you can see, I have a huge amount of damage. I can two-shot most people, that's all great. But as I walk over here, just to prove a point, this isn't even the highest damage dealing character in the game, but if I stand in front of her arrows, it takes her 3 shots to kill me. There are characters in this game who can one-shot me. And my ice block used to be a way I could ambush characters. I could ambush them, I could kill them quickly by ambushing them, come from behind, or just sneak up on a sniper and freeze them. Then two-shot them while they're inside of that and all. Also, another point I'm proving here is her ultimate is completely worthless. Hardly does any damage. They could easily escape that if they were moving enemies. But the main problem is they weakened her, and which is understandable, like they've nerfed her. But in the original, like, patch 29, she was really, really overpowered, so you can definitely understand why they've nerfed her. But the problem is, they've done a bit too good of a job of nerfing her. I mean, she's a glass cannon at this point, but she's not even that useful, even in that kind of thought trail, because the problem is, there are characters now who have 5,000 health, who deal similar amounts of damage to what she deals, making her almost completely worthless, considering her super low health. Like, there are way better options now compared to her. And she used to be probably my favorite character just because from how OP she was. But now she's completely worthless. And the other problem is patch 30, I'd say. I'm going to play some other footage later and prove a few more points about other characters. But I just want to say another problem with patch 30 is that they've completely changed the game. It used to be kind of an Overwatch style, slow kills. Like, at the end of a game, you'd have maybe 14 kills, 2-3 deaths, unless you had a bad game. It's ridiculous now, because all of a sudden, to kill a character takes you like half a second. It no longer takes you a whole round to take somebody out. It's no longer Overwatch style, strategic, back and forth, fighting a character. You have an Eevee up against you, you're some Fernando or something. Fernando never used to be able to 1v1 an Eevee. It's now the easiest thing ever to 1v1 an Eevee. That's no problem. Eevee used to just dominate the battlefield. But unless you had a very bad Eevee, and there were a lot of bad Eevees, I guess you did have to know how to play her a bit. But they have really, really nerfed her, and yeah. But I have a big problem with the way that they've changed the gameplay from this slow pace to this really fast pace, almost Call of Duty like. And like, speaking of Call of Duty, this is some gameplay from Victor, who has been extremely buffed. You can see the speed at which he can kill somebody. Those are headshots, of course, but I will show some kills that are not headshot done. But he can kill a Fernando in one round, which used to never be possible. And he is now ridiculous to face out in combat. Eevee can no longer beat him. You used to be able to 1v1 him as an Eevee. Now you'd have to have mad skills to be able to do that. But yeah, he's quite overpowered at this point. He's really been brought up from the depths to an overpowered point. His ultimate now is insane. You can't survive unless you have some kind of ability that makes you invincible. It's ridiculous. He's not even the one who I consider the most overpowered in this new update, but they've completely changed the game. It's ridiculous. And I think like there was a YouTuber, and I will probably link his channel in the description because I do want to talk about him a bit. But he made a video on comparing Overwatch, this other game, Battleborn, and Paladins. And he said that, like, he was going to say something good about each one and stuff. He said nothing good about Paladins. He absolutely hated Paladins. And at the time, I was like, huh, Paladins is a great game. No clue what he's talking about. Paladins is a absolutely amazing game. I disliked the video. I didn't give him any support whatsoever. I hated his opinion on it, and yeah, that's all okay. But he also made another video talking about Paladins and the fact that it says it's in beta, yet it is constantly like making huge changes. And when you're in beta, you're supposed to only be making like smaller changes. You're not supposed to completely change the gameplay, and that's what they've done here. They've just completely changed it. No longer is it like a slow gain up battle where you like fight people strategically. It's now just walking Call of Duty style. You got shot first, you're dead. First shot wins every time. And it's like all the new players who are coming in, they're gonna understand. Like they're just gonna look at the gameplay and think this is how it always was. But it's like the old Eevee updates that made it so that she had her ice block instead of her clone. I'm sure there's some people who didn't like that. I was also showing here how Victor had more health than Eevee, even though he does an outrageous amount of damage, probably on par with Eevee, if not even more. Considering this rate of fire compared to her. But they've completely changed the gameplay of it, and new people joining are gonna be like, oh, it's okay. But I've been with this game for a bit, not that long. Like I haven't been here through the whole journey. I'm not gonna say that, but I have been here for a bit, and I kind of expected it to stay slightly the same, like ever so slightly, but like I normally play games like this casually, and it's like the Meet Your Match update for TF2. I used to play TF2 as a casual game, and Meet Your Match ruined that. I'm sure there's plenty of videos that will explain to you why Meet Your Match was like ruining for the people who wanted a very casual experience. And so I hope to gain the same experience out of this game. And I was for a while. It was pretty casual, just go around, and like it was almost relaxing with the slow-paced gameplay. And I like that kind of sometimes more slow-paced gameplay. And well, hold on, we're just gonna be switching over to some Grok or whatever his name is footage. Yeah, he's been extremely buffed. But anyways, back to the thing. I was playing most games casually, and we will come back to this film actually later. I'll probably replay it later so I can make a few points about what I'm doing here. But I used to play this game like casually, just like TF2, until they got rid of the casual servers and stuff. And it's actually pretty hard to find casual games. You can't play, I like RTS, that's my favorite game style is RTS, but you can't play RTS, it's a very casual game, just because games last hours, and you can't afford to sometimes sit around for hours. I like a game where you can jump in, jump out, and you can't do that with Paladins, obviously. You jump in, jump out, and get a quick ban, but the games are fast, and even faster now, so you could be like, yeah, that's great, right? But I do like it when the gameplay isn't Call of Duty style. They see you first, you're dead. Like, it's ridiculous now. They've completely changed it, completely ruined it, and by now I'm probably repeating points and just rambling on. But I was honestly, when I first saw this update, I was legitimately mad. I legitimately just, I couldn't even play it for a while, because I played Eevee, and I was like, oh, she's glass cannon now, she's got her ice still. At the time, she still had her ice, and I was just thinking, this is all fine. I'm fine with this update. Like, might sound like all I cared about was Eevee, but no, I cared about some other things too. But I was like, she's a glass cannon now. I'm completely fine with that. She can easily kill people, freeze them in ice, kill them. But then they got rid of every single stun ability. Her ice, bucks, net, all of that. And completely, that made her useless to me. Pretty much useless. And there were probably people complaining too. But that seriously did make her completely useless to me. And, yeah. I will actually replay this Grok footage just to point out some of the points about how much he has been buffed to an almost overpowered state at this point. So, just going to replay that. So, on the subject of Grok, whatever his name is, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that right. So, as you can see, he can survive 4 shots from her. Her shots do a bit over 400 damage. But he's got this totem. He used to have a shield that he put down. Now he has a totem. This is OP. Like, if you're in a 1v1, this wins you the 1v1 hands down unless you're up against a Victor or something like that. But I mean, this is ridiculous considering his damage. His damage is not, like, super high. Like, it's really high. It might look like I'm killing them slowly because you've seen Victor and Eevee gameplay, but it's really high, especially for a defender, which is what he is. But plus his totem, and his ultimate is ridiculous. You're dead if he uses his ultimate, like, and you're in a hallway with him, a cramped space, or just out in the open but near him, you're dead. It's impossible to survive. And, yeah, it's honestly, they've just completely buffed him. 200%. He wasn't even that weak to begin with, and they're just giving him buff after buff after buff for this guy. The thought just struck me. That's kind of random that I would even be making this rant on my channel, considering I've never even done anything like this on my channel before. But when this first came out, I was pissed, so I really did need to talk about this. But, yeah. So as you can see me using my totem, you can destroy the totem, of course. Good thing to target if he ever throws it down. But, yeah, he's pretty much the healer now in the game. He's the equivalent of the healer. Would be nice if they added a healer. That wouldn't have been too bad of an addition, maybe as a new defender, because they're probably going to come up with another defender. If I'm still playing this game at the time, because it has really ruined my experience. But I'm sure I will stick with it, because, you know, it's not unplayable. I can't say it's the worst update I've ever seen. Meet Your Match was a way worse update than this. Like a way worse patch. But, yeah. And I'm going to, again, switch over gameplay to the new champion. Oh, Matoa. His name's Matoa. I was about to say I forgot his name, but his name is Matoa. And, yeah. So, this is Matoa. He's the new champion. He's a fighter. But my main problem with him is, if you watch this gameplay here, you can see you can 3-shot people. Like, the same people Eevee 2 shots. He does 700 damage, Eevee does 900. The difference is his health, and I'm going over here to prove my point. But, as you can see, I'm getting shot. I can survive so many hits, it's ridiculous. Then I got a giant shield that's 5,000 health worth right there. Like, that is insane. The amount of health he has. His hook also regains him health. It's ridiculous, considering the amount of damage he can do if you've got a decent amount of aim. And I was playing him in a game, and it doesn't even take that much aim. I was just absolutely wrecking with him. Heavy damage, but with so much health. You expect a tank like this not to do that much damage, but and as I'm showing here, he doesn't do any self-damage either, so he's got a huge advantage over Eevee, who I've actually killed myself with on some occasions, done a lot of self-damage in battle. But yeah, just showing how much I can get shot again. His ultimate's also pretty useless, just basically makes you grow over. But here's an important part. Eevee used to be a counter to him because of her ice. He had a hook ability. He can hook you in, pull you towards him, and this hook ability makes it so that you do like an increased damage, and as you can see, I can now two-shot people after doing that. I do about the equivalent damage of Eevee after using my hook. And Eevee is now insta-killed by him if he manages to land that hook. You are dead as an Eevee. And you used to be able to use your ice to freeze him, and you'd survive like that. You'd freeze him, you'd make your getaway after he's frozen, or you'd kill him while he is frozen. But you no longer do that. Now it's a matter of, yeah, you are kind of screwed if he actually manages to hook you. The amount of damage it does afterwards is ridiculous, especially if you're Eevee. Instant death. And yeah, it's impossible. And here's the ultimate. It basically just makes you Grover. For anyone who knows who Grover is, just kind of realizing probably none of my audience will understand this, but then again, probably random people out there, they're going to come in and see this video. If anyone's really, well, some people are going to see this video. But, yeah. Some people would have no idea what I'm talking about. Grover has become retardedly weak. He does nothing. Like, he does a whole bunch of damage, but if you have range, Eevee two-shots him, everybody can kill him. He's free kills at this point. Used to be, like, a huge threat on the battlefield. You enter a game, you're like, oh, damn, Grover's in this game. Look, he's on the enemy team. We're all gonna die. Now it's just like, oh, free kills. Look at that Grover. Just, this is a game where I'm getting 20 kills. And back when Eevee still had her ice, I would think exactly that when I entered a game with him. I would be like, oh, well, this is an instant free kill for me. Freeze Grover, insta-win. Eevee used to be a counter. Hold on, just going to figure out what footage to play now. But this is some footage me against some AIs playing a little match, a little payload match. And pardon the lag, the recording software plus the game, plus I have, a friend using internet, so it's kind of a bit laggy in the footage, but I hope you can kind of recognize what's going on. This is one of the main reasons why I don't do gameplay footage. For my 100 subscriber special, by the way, I am planning on doing a reason why I don't upload videos. If you're watching this video, you probably don't care, you're probably not subbed to this channel, welcome, all that. But, yeah. I switched my loadout here to OP Telly Eevee since Ice Block does nothing. There's no point in having my Ice Block loadout. And I am charging into battle, and I'm kind of just proving my point here. I am a really good Eevee player, and I know that kind of sounds a bit self-centered, just but I do get, like back before the update, I would get 30 kills in a game. Over 30 kills in a game. Of Siege, of course, not payload, but I could get 20 kills in a payload. But now you see my ice is pretty much worthless, since I can't freeze anybody with it. And yes, I do a huge amount of damage, but as you saw there, the Grok just put down his totem. He regains his health. All's lost. I don't gain anything from my attack. You have to hit your shots dead on, by the way, to get the full damage that she does do. And even that isn't even worth it, because you have to attack most likely head on or from the back, and they'll realize you're there in no time at all. And my health just melts. They notice me, my health is gone. Watch my health there. Just melted right off me. I don't have a chance to react. I'm dead. It used to be that you'd have tons of time to react. It would be, if you were playing anybody at all, not even Eevee, you'd have a huge amount of time to react, figure out what you're doing. A battle would be a strategy in itself. Now a battle is a Call of Duty. Oh, I saw you, you're dead now because I do a ridiculous amount of damage. And as you can see there, Ying just dancing around me. Since I can't freeze anybody, they're welcome to just monkey guard me in my ice, since I'm not really a threat to them. And I have to get out of there, and I'm actually doing really well for the fact that my survivability as a such low health. Normally I die much faster than this. And I did want to mention, if you saw back there, I did get on my horse as I was walking out the door. And I hate that system. The mount system used to be that you would get on your mount whenever you held down shift, right? Now whenever you walk out the door, you get on your mount. And this can And you've also got a time limit on your mount. By the way, that time limit is way too short. It doesn't give you enough time to reach the enemy if you're on the offensive team, leading you to walking. It's pointless walking. You shouldn't need it. At least let the first run allow your horses to go the full way. It just seems kind of stupid. And you saw me there trying to freeze people, and of course it's not going to work. But yeah, and die instantly, of course, because of the Grok, who does a ridiculous amount of damage. And I swear he's got like a bit of a heat seeking to his, like a bit of a lock on to his laser as well. But yeah, you get on your mount right away. And when you're on the defending team also, when you get out, you don't want to be on your mount. You want to shoot your gun right away. You want to be in the battle. You don't want to back into your base, heal your health, and then as soon as you walk out, get on your horse, because that's a free shot for the enemy. They turn around, they go, oh, look, there's a guy on his horse. He needs another split second to react to get off of his horse. And if you're an Eevee and your health is so ridiculously low, you don't get that half a second of reaction time. So here I have some gameplay of Victor. And I was mentioning earlier how overpowered he is. I never play Victor. I'd like to just get that out of the way right now. I don't play Victor. He's not my character. I never liked him. I never play him. So keep that in mind. I literally have Mastery 1 for all those who know what that means. But, well, if you watch this far, and you probably know what I'm talking about at this point. But I never play him at all. And all of a sudden, he's like super OP, and as I shoot in there, you'll just see health just melt off of them. Just, I didn't kill anybody in that run, of course, as you can see, but their health just melts when I target them. And this isn't even a very light team. There I go, got an elimination. This isn't even a very light team. This is a pretty heavy team. Not that heavy. I can't say they're made of tanks, but it is a pretty heavy team, and there I got a kill. And he's amazing at range now. Kinessa also incredible. Her gun has been buffed extremely. But he's good at range, close range. I'm there with a 3 streak. You remember my Eevee gameplay. I was not trying to fail at that Eevee gameplay. You just saw that guy's health just melt. That Ying, health gone. 1 second, just health gone. And you can see other things like turrets targeting them. But when I shoot, you can just see that health just vanish off of them. And it plays like Call of Duty at this point. You know that Call of Duty gameplay where you turn the corner, they're dead, 1 second, just you have your sights on them. You don't have time to react. You know, you might get lucky. There's a tiny bit of strategy in Call of Duty when you're getting shot, of course. There's plenty of strategy when you're planning your shots and sneaking up on people and stuff. Like, it's like almost a subconscious strategy is what I mean. But the actual strategy of actually when you're in combat, jumping back and forth and stuff like that, that's something you do in Call of Duty, but it's not as like there as it was back before the update in this game. And with Victor now, in your instant killing of people, just target them and their health just melts. It honestly does feel like Call of Duty. Just target them, 3 seconds done. And that damn little engineer guy, the Barrack, his turrets just stealing all the kills. It takes him like a second. Victor is literally Call of Duty in this game. It feels like they just got a Call of Duty character, plopped them right in the middle of this game. And yeah, here I use my ult, and you see just how inescapable it is. You can't get away. And yes, there's an ability added to Sky. She can now poison. Quite useful. Definitely more useful than her smoke screen used to be. People would just follow you in, kill you instantly. Yeah, but Victor is just... My friend used to main Victor. I might main Victor now if I keep playing this. I probably will for a while anyways until I find a new casual game. And I do consider this to be my casual game currently. But yeah, if not this, I might go to Smite, you know. I don't like to be mainstream kind of hipster over here. Yeah. That was cringy as hell. But I do like this game still. It still has a bit of like likability to it, but I'm really starting to agree with that guy. I would dislike all his videos back then. I'd be like, I don't know if you don't know what guy I'm talking about. It's been a while since I brought up this guy, but the guy making videos about how Paladins was the worst out of Battleborn, Overwatch, all of that. Oh, this guy's ultimate, oh so overpowered. Just want to say that. But I used to dislike all his videos. I might even go back like them at this point because I was on a 14 streak. I got one death now. If I actually had skills back with this guy, I have no doubt I would be on my way to 30 streaks in a payload, which would be insane. And yeah, but I used to dislike this guy all the time. I'm 5 seconds from going back and liking all his videos just because now I'm starting to agree. This is not beta stuff. This is not stuff that they've added in beta. This is stuff that like you add when this is in pre-alpha and you're trying to decide what kind of game you're making. Like, are you trying to make Overwatch or are you trying to make Call of Duty with abilities here? And yes, you got your tanks who last a bit longer. These little guys, they last a tiny bit longer, but it's still ridiculously fast death. You don't have time to react. And I'm sure there's people who like that gameplay, and I probably would like that gameplay too on the side, but I wish there was a way that you could play the old version of Paladins, like the patch 29, and also patch, like some people want to play patch 30, they can play patch 30. The people who want to play patch 29, they can go play patch 29. I mean, they have that kind of setup over with, what's it called, Minecraft, and I know it's Minecraft. Minecraft's cancer, but and I don't really like Minecraft at all, but I do have to appreciate the fact that they do allow me to play in 1.9 or 1.8 if I want to. Certain servers don't allow me, of course, but I can play on 1.9, 1.8 if I choose to. And I'm just going to point out a little scores I got as Eevee before and after the update. So this is some scores from before the update, me playing as Eevee, and I got 12 kills, lots of eliminations, all of that. And I did really well. This is before the update. This is after the update. 0 kills as Eevee. And here's the scoreboard. I have a few complaints about this scoreboard. Hold on. And sorry, I don't mean scoreboard, I mean match history. But it doesn't save match history beyond a certain point. And it's kind of frustrating because I had some really good games and now I never saved them because I was like, I can get 30 kills again with Eevee. But now I can't because, like, it's because of the update. I can no longer do that. And so the best game I have saved is over at the bottom. You can see as it goes up my decrease in elimination with Eevee. Just going back to some basic training gameplay over with Eevee again. Just wrapping it up here, but yeah, it's patch 3.9. I hate it. I can understand why people might like it. I can understand their plans, their improvements. I just like it. That's a personal opinion. And I probably will title this something really clickbaity. I like the views. You know, I'm not really competing with people, but at the moment. But I do have some plans for this channel. So, you know, if you made it this far, actually, congratulations. My voice is an awful thing to listen to for over 28 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. By the time I'm done this, uploading this video is going to be hell. I've never really uploaded something this long, you know. Probably want to just, I'm going to be making a video on why I don't upload. I probably mentioned that earlier. Yeah. So thank you for making it this far. Patch 30 sucks for Paladins. If anybody even cares. But yeah, patch 30 completely sucks, and I owe a huge apology. I'll remember your channel later. I'll link it in the description, give you some advertisement. I know I'm not a big advertising source as a 99 sub channel, maybe 100 subs, you know, please, maybe. But yeah, don't actually get me 100 subs and I have to make a special. I'm a lazy person. I don't want to make a special. Those take effort. This didn't take that much effort. Yeah, it did take quite a bit of effort. But yeah, so I've pretty much made my points for this. completely hate patch 30. Think it ruins the game. Tell me what you think. Comment section below. Gonna try and sound like some huge YouTuber here. But yeah, I hate it. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. Alright, Adminstraitor 2055. Bye.